Hey everyone, before I get started, I just want to remind you that if you like my content, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and then join the Militia Man and Crew Patreon community by clicking the link in the caption. Hey, good evening everybody, Militia Man and Crew. We're all here, it's a Friday night, and I'm glad you're with us. I'd just like to say that, hey, look, everybody that's been supporting us for all this time, over this last year, it's been wonderful. We have so many people reaching out on a regular basis, and all the hard work that Samson brings to me, and we go through all the wonderful work that on all the collaborations from Pompey Peter. We got Petra, we have Sunkissed, and we have Gigi, who helps us in all of our work. We have others. We have new people that come in. We have lots of them, and they have all different types of names and positions, and they're all part of Walk of Life. But you know what? They gravitated to Patreon with Militia Man and Crew, and we have the Discord chat room. It's a vibrant room, and it's not for everybody, but it seems to be for most. So if anybody and everybody wants to come and see what we have to offer, I suggest you do. Because why? Because everything that I bring to you guys is there. All the data, you can come in 24/7, and you can glean through and catch all the information that I'm giving you here on YouTube. And I think there's value in what I do there. It's relatively inexpensive, and I would really want you guys to at least take a look at it, give it a shot. 30 days, and you can go away if you don't think you find value. But that's enough of that. But look, what's happening in Iraq is fascinating. Is that, you know, today, this last few days, there's been more than 800 companies in Baghdad International Fair, and actively they have all kinds of different venues, construction, reconstruction. I think there's, those two alone encapsulate many different things. Today, who came into town and was vocal effectively, not necessarily came into town, but was vocal, is that the Japanese presence came in. Toyota, right? That's a big company. It's been around the world. I mean, every port in the world, as a young boy in the United States, I was brought up around ports. And one of the things that I saw was the biggest amount, the hugest parking lots I've ever seen in my life. And it was Toyota. And then, well, Morton Salt was next, right? Because they were like side by side. But it was like almost like miles. I don't know about miles. I was pretty young. But it was really fascinating to see the port full of automobiles, full of products, full of commodities. The port of Fa is going to be absolutely insane when it comes to progress, when it comes to digitization, when it comes to global expansion. You just really have to think about it in the terms of like how big, how much products, how much revenue streams are going to go through from the Silk Road to the Development Road into Europe. You just really need to take it seriously and then think back and go, wow, this is really exciting stuff. Ask yourself the question is like, well, why would all this be happening if Iraq is just going to be at this punishment rate of 1,310 to the dollar? Why would that be happening? Why would al-Sudani be going to Davos to be trying to explain how his country is going to be the savior of the global financial system? If you ask yourself those questions and then you try to find out those answers, you could probably find those answers because of the nature of what's happening. And where could you find them? Of course, in Patreon. You can find those, simple search. I suspect that if you want to know your investment, if you want to know what you own, it's a good place to start. So welcome to everybody, and thank you very much. But the next thing is the charge d'affaires of Japanese embassy in Iraq. His name is Masamoto Kenichi, said during the official ceremony on the occasion of the Japanese National Day. So they did it on the Japanese National Day. they bring forward during the Baghdad International Fair returns to the forefront. Of course, they talk about it, and we were very impressed with the wonderful work at the Baghdad Fair to see so many important countries and companies. So obviously, a person of influence is giving kudos. He's going on to say that Japanese-Iraqi economic relations enjoy a strong, friendly relationship that witnessed a trade boom in the 70s. So they talked about, hey, we did this once before in the 70s. I mean, most people in Iraq weren't even alive in the 70s. I mean, most of their population, I don't think 30, 50, nope, they don't even make it. Most of them are in the ages of 25, 30, 35 years of age. But the bottom line is this is after the 2003 economic activities, kind of the warfare ending of it, trying to go through that transition. It says relations returned. So they've come back. And it says we also provided much assistance in the southern regions in several fields. So Japan was helping out, trying to get Iraq back on her feet. And I'm hoping that that's what we're seeing in the sense of mutual respect. Hey, we helped you, you help us. We're going to help you grow. We're going to bring you back. Well, who was part of the Marshall Plans? I'm pretty sure that you're going to see tonight that I'm going to mention Germany. Germany had a Marshall Plan. Japan had a Marshall Plan. Iraq, to me, in my view, is a Marshall Plan. What does that mean? It means that after a war, they're going to rebuild the country. After Germany, rebuild. After Japan, rebuild. And what did they become? They became economic powerhouses. Are they still? Well, to be, you be the judge. But is Iraq going to be an economic powerhouse in the Middle East? Are they going to take that reign of where they were in the past as a mediator, as a facilitator of peace and stability? That's what it looks like. Who helped them get there? All of the coalition forces. And who else? The United States of America, of course. United Kingdom, of course. Canada. Coalition forces. Japan, Korea, everybody. The Basmara city. It's one of the best in the world, they say. They say it is one of the most advanced cities ever to be built today. So we're going to see these things unfold. Why? Well, Iraq's full of natural and rich in natural resources. They have many of them. I'm not going to get into them, but just pay attention to the fact that when they say that, they do. When I talked about the youth, they have the human resources. The majority of the population is the young. Who needs jobs? The young do. Who can be taught new technologies? The young. All of that. I think you guys get it. It's going to be a beautiful situation. And so why is it happening? Why is it the Baghdad International Fair is important? Because it's an economic, it's commercial, it's a social link. Basically, what they're stressing in this particular case, there's 18 Japanese companies that are participating in this fair, but there's other countries that have 140 companies or more. So look, the CEO of Toyota, his name is Sardar al-Bibani. He says that the Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani's speech at the opening of the current session of the Baghdad International Fair activities is effective. It's encouragement and it's real support for the wheel of investment. Head honcho, Toyota, and al-Sudani talking about the wheel of investment. I like it. What do wheels do? They keep turning. It's going to be phenomenal. Not only is they're going to enhance joint cooperation in other fields, the government and other sectors, they're going to keep on moving because technology. There's so many things that these companies are involved in. It says we're working in cooperation with government agencies to enhance investments, and we hope to achieve this in order for solid international companies similar to Toyota to intervene, increase the provision of their services in Iraq, and have a strong presence in the local markets. Fairly sure that even though it's Toyota's massive, it's globally known. Who doesn't like a Toyota? Some of those cars run 300, 400,000 miles. Militiaman told you that some of those vehicles run that long. So Toyota, kudos to you guys. Investment is not limited only to the construction sector. Okay, so building houses, building cities, all of these things, this is what they're saying. Investment is not limited only to construction sector, but rather to building the capabilities of the Iraqi staff. So the people that are in Iraq, building them up. Okay, see how that works? And what is it that these companies have done since 2012? Basically, it's stating is that Iraq staff is those that will perform the services required to be provided for the general public, and they will also seek to enhance the Iraqi economy, to have international companies join them in all these different fields, whether it's construction, whether it's minerals, whether it's roads, whether it is the trucking, the international accession to the TERP, all of those different things are at play. WTO is involved, World Bank's involved, UN's involved, everybody's involved. And where is al-Sudani going? He's going to develop. To tell what? About the year of 2024 is the year of achievements. He's not going to that place, in my view, with an empty plate. He's not looking for food. He's bringing it. That's my view. If he does something different, then we'll see how that works out. And it's all my opinion, okay? But basically, this is all that's basically stating that these people, that the Japanese are saying we aspire to participate in the construction and investment sectors and to be an effective and influential factor in the presence of other international companies in the Iraqi market, stressing that Iraq is on the right track to support environmental preservation and the recovery of the national economy. So boom, we know that. The president explained that to everybody, but he also goes on to say, we also plan the next stage to use electric powered vehicles, but I'm going to focus in on this part where he says clean energy instead of the current reliance on fuel and gas combustion. Electric powered vehicles are not necessarily the most efficient as far as I'm concerned, but they're maybe moving to a direction which is hydrogen. Iraq has a lot of hydrogen. It's not open in the public eye. They haven't really been tapping into it in the news. I'm surprised Reuters, I'm surprised other companies haven't really been talking about it, but let's just see what happens. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is next door. They've been showcased. They've been the honorable people. And we know that with them, there's 140 companies, in addition to the presence of companies from countries that had not previously participated in Baghdad, and such as who? They're there now, the Czech Republic, Azerbaijan, and other countries. I have a feeling that why would they bring that up? Azerbaijan is because they have trade agreements, and they have trade agreements because of that they're probably going to be interconnected at the same time on or around with the WTO. And I think that's part of it. I mentioned some of that in my last video, so if you guys have the opportunity to take a peek at that, that would be great to see. It says here that after 8 years of governor of the central bank, announced the regular meetings of the banking leaders 2 days ago that central bank will adopt special strategy to enhance confidence in the banking sector. Okay, so this is Samir al-Nasiri talking about this. This is today. It comes out that he's talking about confidence in the banking sector, and what's going to be accompanying it will be strategies that will be implemented in 2024 and in the footsteps of financial and banking reform. So what has al-Sudani been talking about? He's been talking about banking reform, financial banking reform, all of it. And so they moved to the point where which he says that this support will be carried out with joint cooperation with other governments and the support of the President of the Council of Ministers. They're basically looking at the expansion of the banks that changed recently. They went from like 40 banks to 72 banks. The financial inclusion rate, they've increased from a low percentage, I think it was 11%, to 33.5%. They go on to say that there has been more than 10 million accounts that's been opened. They go on to say that the number of credit cards that have been opened, about 18 million. The country is about 40 million people, right? It says that the digital transformation in the banking sector is moving in the direction which is accelerating the adoption of modern banking technologies and comprehensive systems, in addition to establishing the Iraqi Deposit Insurance Company. So they're giving guarantees. The insurance deposit or the guarantees are phenomenal because, look, we have that here in our country. Maybe they're not the best in the world. Other countries have the same thing, but Iraq is doing that. It's going to enhance stability of the banking system and the trust of the people, and trust of investors. So they do have that. It goes on here, it says that the new strategy to enhance confidence. Key word is confidence, people. I think that, and please forgive me, I wasn't saying people like in a derogatory way. I was basically trying to say is that it's confidence. All of us people, should understand that the confidence that they're using, and a lot of these words they're using the word confidence, strategies to enhance confidence in the banking sector, enhance confidence by the central bank governor, enhance confidence is what they're basically stating. And here he goes on to say that the new strategy to enhance confidence, as explained by the governor of the central bank, will depend on the following: when? In 2024. Phenomenal. Okay, so when he says that, he goes, what steps are there going to be? Improving the level of banking services and products provided to customers. I think we pretty much could cap that, say that that's been taken care of. Second, it says that the availability of the bank's financial solvency and its ability to meet customers' requests at the time of request without delay. So in other words, the correspondent banks and the banks need to be populated with currencies so that if somebody needs money, they're going to get it. And that's confidence. They need to have that confidence. People moving into Iraq, investors, when they come in, they want to have freedom of capital movement. They're going to need the confidence. And this is what Al-Sudani has been talking about. I think he's going to stress on it again in the future, is that what they're trying to do is confidence. And I'm going to get to some of that confidence. The third thing, it says that the bank's control and direct supervision focus on measuring the level of service provided by banks to customers. Okay, direct supervision. They're talking about the central bank, I believe, taking care of the correspondent banks, supervising, and the local banks, regional banks. That's who did they say was going to do a change? They were going to move away from the auctions. They were going to take the country to a state where they're going to, central bank is going to change from what they did in the past to now go back to the normal situation, which is to allow banks and correspondent banks do the trade for international commerce. And that, my friends, is important that you understand that. Okay, and that's huge. It's part of the process. So the fourth item says it provides, quote, external international confidence in the bank through its ability to adhere to international standards and obtain confidence from correspondent banks. I don't know, you guys. I have to laugh a little bit because it's like we've been talking about all this stuff, and the blowback that I get is like immense. It's like blah blah blah. It's funny as hell sometimes because this is what the reality is. They talk about this. This is for real time. This isn't just dog and pony show. It's not Barnum and Bailey's circus. It's the international world bringing out a country into real time, real life internationalism. Take it for what it's worth. But here it is, number 4. It provides external international confidence, which I've been having for a long time because I get this, in the bank through its ability to adhere to international standards and obtain confidence from correspondent banks. Some of those correspondent banks, I think you guys ought to take a peek at this. I'm going to get to it, but 2 of them right out the gate JP Morgan Chase, Citibank, they have confidence. Winnie, you okay? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I don't know. Jeez. Sorry, everybody. Winnie got startled. But anyway, the banks, they have the confidence, the internal and external confidence. There's a article that basically comes out. It was April 18th, 2023. It says, Al-Sudani talks about the tripartite budget and confirms we have great confidence in the Iraqi dinar. So that was in April. So that's been quite a long time. But what does he say? He says he has confidence in the Iraqi dinar. Go on a little bit further. You come into another gentleman by the name of Al-Rukn Al-Ifaya. Forgive me. Department of Foreign Investments transfers local companies. They created an advanced financial dealing base, which contributes to supporting the economy of Iraq, creating competition, enhancing confidence in the Iraqi market. Hey, they have so much great confidence in the Iraqi dinar. Well, Al-Sudani does, because he said it numerous times that he believes that the Iraqi dinar, to be careful to the citizens, that it's going to be stronger than the dollar. And I don't think that they've been using the word confidence all this time on a regular basis. Creating competition, enhancing what? Enhancing confidence in the Iraqi market. They go on to say that all these different banks, among these banks is the Central Bank of Iraq Standard Charter, QNB Group subsidiary of Jordan. They go on to say United Arab Emirate banks, Turkey banks, Bank of Jordan, Islamic banks, the representatives of offices of subsidiaries in Iraqi banks, which is what? Citibank, Commerce Bank, First Abu Dhabi Bank, Bank of National of Iraq, Al Mansour Bank. Those were just a few. Then they go on to state, they say the Standard Chartered Bank is number 2. Anyway, they go through numbers. I think they have 9 of them. And the main thing here is fascinating, is that they talk about Citibank. And we can go back and we know that Citibank has a good position and has always been around with Iraq. JP Morgan is working with what? The Buna platform. And what? Digital currencies or what? Blockchain technologies. The Buna platform is just cross-border payments with a safe, secure, transparent way of doing business. But the German Central Bank, the Commercial Bank of Iraq, I think you guys get the picture, that basically is stating to the investor they can transfer money from their accounts in foreign banks and their correspondent banks operating abroad. These accounts can do what? They can facilitate the trade in what? Receive equivalent compensation, payment, monies, however you want to word it. From when they open an account, they can be secure in knowing that they can do international trade. They have freedom of capital movement. That reeks of Article 8 compliance, or the obligations have been accepted. So with all these people saying these things at this time, while we're at a conference or an international fair, and they're talking about in 2024, not from 2023, but now they're in 2024, they're talking about doing deals, and they're hoping to do these deals. And why is it Al-Sudani is going somewhere? Well, remember back at the UN meeting, he and they, of all those members that were there, showcased Iraq as being a savior, if you will, to the international financial system. I didn't make it up. I'm not doing that. You can find it, and we can show that you can do it on your own. But they were going to give confidence to the international banking system and the financial system. And this is what they're talking about here, is that they're going to give confidence. They keep saying confidence. And that's why I've had confidence, because after the last year or so, I've been hearing these buzzwords in my head, and that's what it brings to me. After doing the research with all the folks in Patreon, all the folks in Discord, and more, that we have the ability to tap into that database, if you will, that we've applied and have accumulated to be able to support what we have here. It says that the volume of economic challenges and high inflation in the world have greatly affected global investments in various sectors. Well, why are they talking about that? It's because they need change. They need change. And who is the savior? Well, we're hoping that al-Sudani is the star of the show here in Davos. There you have it. Central bank can buy and sell currencies in the local market in order to influence the stability of the currency value and maintain investor confidence. Where did that come from? That was a snippet from the Council of Foreign Affairs. Where? In Iraq. Okay. Next one, it says, my snippet I have here, it says, Iraq banks must now manage these transfers through the electronic platform SWIFT, which is synonymous with the stricter monitoring of transactions, particularly by the United States Federal Reserve, which rejects any transfer deemed suspicious. So why do we bring that up? Well, the fact remains is there's the new ISO 200-2022, and they have new systems, and you're going to have to deal with trade. If you want to deal globally, you're going to have to deal with one form or another of transparency. And that's where the United States and I think Iraq, I think the European Union, I think a large portion of the world understand that. And we're going to have to watch how it turns out. And I think it's going to be a positive. I think that meeting in Davos, if you look at the lineup, I would suggest I highly recommend you go and do the research. Click on the conference. It's pretty easy to Google. Anybody can do it. Check it out and surf through it and find out who's going to be there. You're going to be surprised at who's going to be there. And also then do a little research on where is the Bank of International Settlements in relationship to the Davos. Okay, and it's about 2.5 hour drive if that's what they want to do on icy roads in the winter. But it's a quick flight if you want to be able to force al-Sudani and his crew. Remember that al-Sudani and his delegation, high delegation, and the central bank governor is to be in this venue. And the nice thing about it is that aside from anyone's specific politics or anything, but we have history that shows that things happened in Kuwait, things happened in the United States, and what are they related to? Specific things that happened in the Middle East since the 1990s to 2003 and then to present. So there's some history here, and there's going to be a published, it's publicly stated that al-Sudani is going to, and most likely his delegation and team, but maybe in the conversation will only be him on a one-on-one with the Politico founding editor. So I would suggest everybody pay attention to this stuff, because if you think about it for a second and you look back at people's history, you're going to find that this is a big deal. And I think I'm excited. So I hope you guys like my video tonight. It's Friday, and enjoy. And if, again, for all those new folks, hit that subscribe button and tap that like. And if you like content to keep it rolling, you know how to do it. Plenty of options to help. A small donation is always welcome. Once again, guys, don't forget to hit that like button if you like this content. Subscribe to the channel or join us at the Militia Man and Crew Patreon community for even more exclusive content. You can also donate to this channel by hitting the links in the banner to help keep this page up and running. Your generous support is greatly appreciated, as always. Much, much appreciated. Thank you so much, and have a great day.